raving and ranting about the media and immigrants and windmills again. He hates windmills. He complained in front of a bunch of Teamsters about how much he hates paying overtime. For 60 days prior to an election, the Department of Injustice is supposed to do absolutely nothing that would taint or interfere with said election. They close. All caps in America hit Truth Social hard last night. Trump is highly upset about the 165 pages of incriminating evidence the judge released yesterday.
And the voters, they get it. They've read it, they get it. And it's already come out. Every single channel is calling it election interference. Ready?
And failed to rig the election. He's a rignoramus is what he is.
Trump's new business venture is giving late-night infomercials a run for their money. But here's the kicker. His social media platform just lost $4 billion. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Yeah, you heard that right, 4 billion with a B. How does a billionaire lose that much? Stick around, we're about to spill the tea on Trump's financial fiasco. Trump's latest debate performance was like watching a magic show, but instead of pulling rabbits out of hats, he's conjuring up imaginary opponents. Yep, you heard that right. The former president claimed he debated 3 people instead of 1. Who were these mystery debaters? Maybe his own ego showed up twice? But wait, it gets better. Trump's excuses for his poor showing were about as convincing as a cat blaming the dog for eating its homework. He complained about a broken microphone, a wobbly podium, and even suggested the air conditioning was conspiring against him. Talk about a cool conspiracy theory. Speaking of wild theories, Trump decided to spice things up with some truly bizarre claims about Haitian immigrants. Apparently he thinks they're not just coming for jobs, but for our precious poodles too. That's right, folks. Trump's latest hit single is Haitians Are Eating Our Pets.
For 60 days prior to an election, the Department of Injustice is supposed to do absolutely nothing that would taint or interfere with said election.
They rigged the election. I didn't rig the election. They rigged the election. What they do is they rig the election and then they go around getting people and persecuting people and prosecuting people that did nothing wrong.
It's got a catchy beat, but the lyrics are a bit rough. With all the seriousness of a newscaster reporting on paint drying, local officials had to actually address this nonsense. The dog warden in Clark County, Ohio, yes, that's a real job, had to publicly state, and I quote, "Haitians are not eating poodles." I bet that's a sentence he never thought he'd have to say in his professional career. But here's where Trump's wild imagination starts to have real consequences. His pet-eating conspiracy theory wasn't just another bad joke. It led to bomb threats against Haitian families and parents pulling their kids out of school. Turns out when you're a former president, people actually listen to the crazy stuff you say. Who knew? Local officials found themselves playing a giant game of whack-a-mole with Trump's misinformation. Every time they debunked one claim, another popped up. It's like trying to reason with a toddler who insists the moon is made of cheese. Except this toddler has millions of followers on social media. As Jimmy Kimmel pointed out, Trump's debate antics and claims about immigrant pet eaters have turned political discourse into a 3-ring circus. And just when you think the show's over, another clown car pulls up.
Close. All caps in America hit Truth Social hard last night. Trump is highly upset about the 165 pages of incriminating evidence the judge released yesterday. Raving and ranting about the media and immigrants and windmills again. He hates windmills. He complained in front of a bunch of Teamsters about how much he hates paying overtime and failed to rig the election. He's a rignoramus is what he is.
But hold on to your popcorn, folks, because the Trump world drama is far from over. In fact, it's about to get even wilder. Just when you thought Trump's circus couldn't get any crazier, enter Laura Loomer, the human equivalent of a whoopee cushion at a fancy dinner party. Who is this new clown in Trump's big top, and why is she making even diehard MAGA folks squirm? Meet Laura Loomer, the latest addition to Trump's collection of controversial pals. She's like that friend who always says the quiet part out loud at family dinners. Loomer's been popping up at Trump events lately, but her background is more colorful than a box of crayons in a microwave. She's got a history of pushing conspiracy theories that would make even flat earthers raise an eyebrow. But Loomer really outdid herself this time. She went on a racist rant about Kamala Harris that was so bad, it made some Trump allies want to crawl under a rock and hide. It's like she took a page from Trump's How to Offend Everyone handbook and decided to add her own spicy twist.
The case is a scam. Trump is what, 78 years old? You think he knows he can double tap the shift button on his phone?
And the voters, they get it. They've read it, they get it. And it's already come out. Every single channel is calling it election interference. Ready? The teleprompter just went out.
The reaction from Trump's buddies was pure comedy gold. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lindsey Graham, usually Trump's most loyal lapdogs, suddenly remembered they had spines and spoke up. It was like watching a group of misbehaving kids suddenly pretend to be angels when the teacher walks in. But Loomer wasn't about to go down without a fight. She fired back at her critics faster than Trump tweets at 3 a.m. She questioned Graham's sexuality and took shots at Greene's personal life. It was like watching a Real Housewives reunion, but with more MAGA hats and less hair pulling. So, how's Trump handling this MAGA family feud? Like a dad trying to break up a fight between his kids while pretending he doesn't know them. He tried to distance himself from Loomer, saying she doesn't work for his campaign. But then, in true Trump fashion, he couldn't resist adding a little but to his statement, defending her as just being tired of the left's attacks. Despite the drama, some insiders say Loomer's still hanging around Trump's inner circle like a bad smell. They call her a fierce defender of Trump, which is probably code for she says the stuff even Trump won't say out loud.
He details every step, she detailed every step of the attempt to overthrow the election because it's so close to the election. Close. All caps in America hit Truth Social hard last night. Trump is highly upset about the 165 pages of incriminating evidence the judge released yesterday. They disobeyed their own rule in favor of complete and total election interference. I did nothing wrong. They did.
But folks, this MAGA soap opera is far from over, with Republicans turning on each other faster than you can say kofef. Trump's support base is looking shakier than his explanations for classified documents in his bathroom. Stay tuned, because in Trump world, the next episode of As the MAGA Turns is always just around the corner. So, there you have it, folks. Trump's inner circle is looking more like a three-ring circus than a political campaign. With Loomer causing chaos and allies jumping ship faster than rats from a sinking orange boat, you've got to wonder, what's next for the Trump show? This dysfunction isn't just entertaining, it could spell real trouble for Trump's 2024 hopes. When your own team is busy fighting each other, who's left to fight the actual opposition? It's like watching a football team argue about their uniforms while the other side scores touchdown after touchdown. But don't worry, Trump fans and haters, this circus isn't packing up anytime soon. With every passing day, there's a new act in the MAGA big top, so grab your popcorn and stay tuned, because in Trump world, the show must go on, and on, and on.